A fairly dry day on the Sun Coast, but the chance of showers is increasing for the rest of the week.
We have an update on the tropical system we've been watching this week. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news, storms are exploding in the Caribbean. Chances are increasing for a tropical development. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has been monitoring this system. He joins us now with an update on our first alert forecast. Bob?
Right, big update too in that we have a 60% chance, which is really quite high, for a tropical system to emerge out of the western Caribbean. Right now it's too close to land to really get going, but boy, storms have really been firing up this day. You can see that explosion of storms now extending all the way from the Yucatan right on over to the Isle of Youth and even into Cuba. This system is going to be a kind of disorganized system as it gets into the Gulf of Mexico, and that means we'll have a lot of easterly fetch of heavy showers and storms to the right of the center. So despite whether it goes to Florida or it goes to Louisiana, I think we'll still have an impact with the system. The one that goes to Florida, the chance of that happening is a little higher as far as heavier rain goes for us. Well, that chance is at 60%. Just less than 24 hours, it was at 40%. So again, it's been bumping up every day now, and you can see the deep bright whites here. That indicates storms really starting to develop. And that shear is going to lessen too. There's been some strong wind shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That is going to weaken considerably, which will allow the system to organize a little bit more so, I think, as we move through time. Well, these are the forecast models, and you'll see a lot of them take it off toward the Panhandle or even into Louisiana. The European still does that. We'll have another run of that pretty soon, though. And then we also see that the GFS, that's the yellow lines that you see there, has it going more toward the west coast of Florida. This would not be the best scenario for us, but we're not going to see a strong wind problem with this. However, we will still see an incredible amount of rainfall if it were to follow this path, because it would still be tapping into the Gulf of Mexico very close to us and producing showers and storms moving over the same period of time. Now, the timing of it appears to be Saturday now and into Saturday night. That's when we would see the heaviest rainfall if it follows the GFS. If the European verifies and heads more toward the lower Mississippi Valley, it'll be a little bit slower. So we'll see that possibly on into Sunday. Either way, we're going to get the right side of it or the dirty side of this storm. I mentioned the wind shear. It's fairly strong down there now, and out through the Gulf of Mexico, it's hostile environment. But as we move through time here, you'll see by Friday things start to change around, and even by Saturday it becomes more favorable for development. But as I said, it's not going to have enough time to really develop into a massive windstorm, but it will be a very heavy rainmaker. And again, two schools of thought, one heading off toward the lower Mississippi Valley, another one toward the eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. Either way, you can see the deep convection well east of the center at this point. Today, it's been relatively quiet here as far as storms go. That's because some dry air has slipped in. You see that quite clearly there. That's all going to be coming to an end. This dry air could help, too, in aiding the system in not becoming a very significant storm down the road. More on all that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. A loaded gun on Bayshore High School's campus is prompting the Manatee County School District to enforce new security rules earlier than planned. Yesterday, students told staff at the school that a 10th grader was armed with a gun. School resource deputies found the student with a loaded handgun tucked into his waistband. The teen is now facing charges of possession of a firearm on school grounds and carrying a concealed firearm. Now, because of that incident, Bayshore High School students were not allowed to bring backpacks to school today. Starting tomorrow, all middle and high schools in Manatee County are banning backpacks. With only 3 days left of the school year, parents are being reminded to talk to their kids about these serious consequences of making threats against their school.
And all those students at Bayshore and other district schools were focused on final exams today. They were also on high alert after yesterday's incident.
ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo joins us live from Bayshore High School with the measures that the district took today to prevent students from bringing weapons on campus. Dwayne?
Well, Jacqueline, Scott, the students here at Bayshore went through metal detectors as they entered school grounds this morning. And it was based on the fact that someone did bring a gun on school grounds yesterday. It's a case where the district's
a campus that's a lot less on edge.
It makes me feel a lot more safer now that I know that people aren't carrying guns in their pockets or bags anymore.
Every student at Bayshore High School endured metal detectors as they entered the building. Some students even reporting getting to class late due to the long lines.
There's definitely better ways to do it besides just having us be, scanned. it takes too long.
Manatee District spokesperson Mike Barber says following the incident of a student bringing a gun on campus Tuesday, metal detectors are being used on Wednesday at middle and high schools district-wide.
We're ramping up security measures, and we take those kind of increased precautions if events warrant it.
They will be used at all schools, but not on every student. However, all students at Bayshore went through a detector on Wednesday morning. As an added precaution, according to the district, backpacks have been banned at all middle and high schools in the county for the final 3 days of the year. It's a policy they say they've had in place for the last 3 years, not only for security purposes.
Students in middle school and high school are generally taking exams the last week of school. They really don't need a backpack.
Parents and students are just hoping that they never have to endure any incident involving guns again.
A school should be an environment where we feel safe to be with others and not somewhere we should be scared of, obviously, someone coming with a gun.
Well, as a final measure of safety, the Manatee County School District is reminding parents that armed law enforcement officers are present on all campuses for the remainder of the school year. This also includes elementary schools. That was Dwayne Lindo reporting for us.
While the Sarasota County School District is moving forward with creating its own police force, the sheriff is moving in his own direction when it comes to school safety. Sheriff Tom Knight is hiring 14 school resource deputies, or what he calls SRD2s. According to the sheriff's office, he believes it's in the best interest of the community to continue recruiting these deputies in case the school district changes its mind or in the case of local charter schools might need school resource deputies. Meanwhile, the school district has already posted positions for a police chief, command staff, and officers. The district is confident the new department will be up and running before the start of the new school year in August. But this SRD2 program could serve the district as a plan B.
The SRD2s and our school resource officers are relatively similar positions. They both worked 180 days of school or hired specifically with that mission. I believe our compensation is very close. And so I'm completely confident we'll be hiring our own individuals to staff our department.
According to the sheriff's office, it's unknown what these deputies will do if they're not needed in schools. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll explain how much this SRD2 program could cost taxpayers.
In the wake of the Santa Fe school shooting in Texas, the second of 3 roundtable discussions on school safety is underway. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says they are discussing enlarging the school marshal program, hiring more school counselors, installing more metal detectors, and increasing parental accountability. The discussions were prompted by the deaths of 10 people at Santa Fe High School last week. Tomorrow's roundtable will focus on victims and their families. The shooting suspect, Demetrios Pagorchis, is charged with capital murder and aggravated assault on a public servant. He has not entered a plea at this time.
An Alaska man will spend the rest of his life in prison for opening fire at a South Florida airport, killing 5 people, wounding 6 others. Esteban Santiago pleading guilty today to 11 charges from the January 2017 attack. The 28-year-old has admitted he opened fire in a baggage area at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International. The plea deal was reached after prosecutors announced they would not seek the death penalty. Instead, Santiago agreed to a life prison sentence plus 120 years.
Deadly mass shootings across the country continue to spark a new nationwide push for stricter gun control. Just last week in Colorado, an assault weapon ban was passed by Boulder City Council. But what about here on the Suncoast? ABC 7's Alan Cohn joins us with what's coming up tonight at 7. Alan?
Jacqueline, a Sarasota veterans group is weighing in on the assault weapons debate. Veterans, like the rest of us, are divided, but Sarasota-based Florida Veterans for Common Sense says its members know weapons of war and believe that they don't belong in the hands of the public.
And they'd see the difference between what a 22 does, a 22 caliber rifle, a 38 caliber pistol, and then an AR-15 bullet. An AR-15 bullet destroys the human body.
Coming up tonight at 7 here from both sides on this controversial issue. Back to you.
All right, Alan, thank you. Coming up, where these massive sinkholes are opening up across the Sunshine State.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with an update on that tropical development in the Caribbean. Plus, how does sleep or the lack of it affect how well you parent? We'll have the results of a new study when we come back.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Multiple sinkholes have opened in Florida, closing streets and endangering residents. And now more severe weather in the form of heavy rainfall is headed for the state. But the sinkholes are not just happening in one place. ABC's Aaron Katersky has more on the growing problem across the Sunshine State.
As tropical weather inundates central Florida with record rainfall, experts fear the area, nicknamed Sinkhole Alley, could live up to its name.
The heavy rains are going to trigger more sinkholes.
The area has been plagued by sinkholes, 4 opening up just this week. This one right in front of 2 homes in a retirement community in the Villages.
So we keep waiting for the driveway to collapse and then maybe the house to collapse.
Outside a high school close by, depressions about 15 to 20 feet wide near a parking lot. After 9 straight days of rain, the area has already seen more than twice its average rainfall for the month of May. Sinkholes form when limestone underground is eaten away by water, creating a cave. The weight above becomes too heavy, leading to the collapse. Central Florida has seen more than 12 million square feet of ground collapse in the past decade.
We've had sinkholes around Florida for as long as Florida's been around.
A few weeks ago, 15 sinkholes opened up in a retention pond in Ocala, forcing 8 homes to evacuate. And last year, a 225-foot wide sinkhole north of Tampa destroyed a couple of homes. But the problem of sinkholes is not just relegated to the Sunshine State. A sinkhole on the north lawn of the White House appears to be growing by the day. The cause is not quite clear, but the National Park Service tweeted the recent stretch of heavy rain in D.C. is likely to blame, adding they don't believe it poses a risk to anyone at the White House. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Well, we've had a little chance today to dry out, at least for now.
You're right now, but there are some showers already developing. Last half hour, they popped up east of the interstate. The sea breeze has kicked in, so you can't stop this rain. Even though there's a little dry air around, there's still some activity going on, and it looks like a lot more coming our way. Here's what's happening right now. I had a chance to get up to the National Weather Service and talk to some of the meteorologists up there, and we're watching two different scenarios being played out, and I just checked the latest model runs on our forecast computer, and it looks as though they're slowing down too now. Although we said Saturday appears to be possibly the day of the big weather, it may be pushed back now. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing beautiful conditions out there this afternoon. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds, and notice the bellies of those clouds starting to darken up with some rainfall. The storms shouldn't be all that intense in terms of the heavy rain like we saw the past couple of days, but we could see a little bit more lightning as a result of a little bit more heating of the day today, so a more vertical extent if they break through that drier air. You can see the storms are gathering here now in the Western Caribbean. It's looking a little healthier this afternoon with more convection near what appears to be a center just off the Yucatan Peninsula. That's where it appears to be right there. It's the proximity to land, so close to land, that it's going to inhibit any kind of rapid intensification near its center. So it's going to be a poorly organized system for a while. Eventually, as it emerges into the Gulf of Mexico, where water temperatures are a little bit warmer, low to mid 80s here, just north of the Yucatan. And then it cools down, but not until you get to about 50 to 100 miles offshore of west central Florida does that water temperature drop below the 80-degree threshold. There are a couple of schools of thought, as we've been talking about for the past couple of days now, but either one, it doesn't matter. We're still going to see this moisture that's well east of the system move in our direction. So a good chance for showers and storms, especially on into Saturday. With all this dry air around, it's going to have a hard go of it becoming a very intense system. There's a lot of dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, but notice it's kind of thinning out as we go through time. It still has a couple of days before it emerges into the Gulf of Mexico, so that may get out of here before that does that. So that also is an inhibitor right now, but we'll see how it plays out in the future. As far as we're concerned, we're going to see a nice night, a few showers this evening, and then we'll see things sort of calm down after midnight. Look for mostly fair skies, and then eventually, once again, we'll see the possibility of showers and storms in the afternoon. I mentioned the water temperature. Right here, it's still very warm. In fact, 85 degrees right there. It's still into the mid-80s, even into the central Gulf of Mexico, and a little bit cooler here, as I mentioned, into the upper 70s, 78 degrees now just off the west central coast of Florida. Well, the showers and storms are progressing from the southeast to the northwest right now, and these really just flared up within the last half hour. The sea breeze has worked its way toward I-75. It's just to the east thereof, and the showers are starting to spread up, and they're going to stop moving too. So they could produce some locally heavy rainfall. It won't be the torrential downpours that we've seen as of late, but still, if it stays over the same place, you're still going to get maybe 2-3 inches of rainfall. And I notice a lightning strike right there has just popped up near Lakewood Ranch. So they're building quick. It doesn't take long for a storm to generate lightning, only about 20 minutes. And we could see some gusty winds, a little bit gustier winds with these storms than we've seen too. Winds can gust as high as 30 to 40 miles an hour. That's right over Lakewood Ranch and near UTC. And you'll notice it's really not moving much over the last 5 minutes. It's slowly pushing to the west. That's because the sea breeze is kind of holding it off right now. Some heavier storms as well developing just to the east of I-75 near the Venetian. Also down south, northwest or southwest of Northport. The activity is trying to spread toward Venice, but having a hard go of it. This particular model, just to show you how models are, didn't even see it. So again, you have to use these models with caution. A lot of times they don't pick up the sea breeze front as detailed as we're seeing it right now with those storms firing up. So that goes true with tropical systems too, especially with tropical systems. So we have to kind of just watch and wait for this system. We'll have a pretty good chance of knowing what's going to do by Friday midday, and this is just one forecast. Now we're going to see some frames that drop everything out real quick, but again, this is the European forecast model. You'll notice the timing on this. This is 7 p.m. with the low just parallel of our coast. And this is Sunday at 9, still a lot of rain nearing us, and that's still if it's going toward New Orleans. And you can still see it spinning there on Tuesday, staying out into the Gulf of Mexico. So things may be changing a bit with the future progression of this tropical system down to our south. We'll have to keep a very close watch on it, obviously, and we are looking for a good chance for showers and storms on Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday. That may now extend to Monday, depending upon if this thing slows down in the Gulf of Mexico. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. In first alert traffic, we're seeing the southbound lanes of US 41 backed up in the Sarasota area This is right near the intersection of Bee Ridge Road. Also some minor backups in the northbound lanes before you approach Proctor Road. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, sleep. It's not just for babies. It's known to help lower blood pressure, slow down weight gain, and a new study tells us it will even decrease your risk of dying. Researchers found that those who get normal amounts of sleep all week long but then slept less than 5 hours on weekend nights had a risk of dying that was 52% higher. But if you're not sleeping well during the week and sleeping less than 5 hours on the weekend, that's associated with a 65% increase in dying compared to those who get 6 to 7 hours of sleep every night. And speaking of sleep, how does sleep or the lack of it affect how well you parent? Researchers with the University of Illinois set out to answer that question. They monitored the sleep habits of 234 mothers for a week and then asked their children questions about discipline. Researchers found the mothers who didn't get enough sleep had a greater tendency to engage in permissive parenting and were inconsistent with how they disciplined their children. Research shows a link between permissive parenting and kids' vulnerability to problematic behaviors. Federal health officials are warning parents about the dangers of certain teething medicines. The Food and Drug Administration says gels and creams that contain the drug benzocaine can cause rare but deadly side effects in children, especially those who are 2 years old or younger. The FDA has been warning about the products for decades, but reports of illnesses and deaths keep coming in. So now the agency wants the products off of the shelves. The FDA says it will take legal action against companies that do not remove them. Coming up, 2 pilots thrown from a plane after it crashes near an Air Force base. Plus, a Sarasota couple enjoying their morning coffee makes quite an unexpected discovery in their pool. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $155 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Two Air Force pilots are safe after a plane crash in Mississippi. That plane went down this morning near the Columbus Air Force Base. The Air Force reports the plane was a T-38C Talon II. The Talon is a twin-engine jet trainer often used in pilot training. According to the base, the pilots ejected from the aircraft safely and were taken to the hospital for evaluation. The crash did cause a fire but is now out, and the incident is being investigated. Well, people can't take their eyes off that exploding lava flowing and bubbling up into the sky from Hawaii's Mount Kilauea. And now we're seeing new shocking video from the Hawaii National Guard. The National Guard Black Hawk helicopter flew over 3 fissures Tuesday morning. The Kilauea volcano erupted 3 weeks ago and is showing no signs of quieting down anytime soon.
A Sarasota couple makes an unexpected discovery. A 300-pound alligator was taking a dip in their pool early this morning. Connie and Frank Schaffery say they were enjoying a cup of coffee at their home off of University Parkway and Honore Avenue when they spotted the 9-foot-long gator. The family immediately called the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. An FWC employee was able to remove that gator in about 20 minutes. That employee estimates that the gator is 15 to 20 years old. Coming up at 5:30 as we inch closer to the weekend, Bob Harrigan continues to monitor the possibility of heavy rain. And at 5:32, how federal funding could affect your cybersecurity in this year's upcoming election. Plus at 5:37, an update on a 5,000-acre Northport property that's one step closer to being preserved. Those stories straight ahead.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.